13 Questions by Man Transcending. Manhood in the Digital Age.
All right, we are back with 13 questions. Just finished recording with James Cruz.
James,
oh, it's so much fun. And then we know each other, right? So I used to play D&D. I say used to because he just had a new baby. So he's doing the right thing, taking the time to spend with his true family instead of his D&D family. So this was really nice. It was the first time I've been able to reconnect with him in, probably like a month and a half. And you podcast with him on the regular over there with Cruz and with Steak. So yeah, it was a really fun episode.
Yeah, we all, kind of know each other already. So it was a little bit more relaxed. And I don't know, for me personally, it was just a little bit, like I said, relaxed because I'm still, relatively new at this. And so I get, the pre-show jitters and all that stuff. Yep. So this was a little bit more fun.
No, that's always good. I always get nervous. It's just knowing how to push through the nervousness.
Right. Yeah. And embracing that and using that nervous energy and kind of focusing it and directing it. It's all part of the learning process.
Yeah. I used to be fearful and that was a huge roadblock for me. But listening to like athletes and fighters, when they talk about, they always get nervous. And I'm like, wait, you always get nervous? Wait, you're always scared? You feel like you need to throw up or something? I'm like, okay. So this is a normal part of the process. And like you said, fuel, it's an energy. So direct it, find an outlet for it. And yeah, so yeah, I got used to the pre-show jitters.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting experience if you've never had it before. I recommend, at least trying it once, even if it's with this show, making a recording of your role model or your father or grandfather or something, because even just anticipating that and prepping for that, I'm sure that there's got to be some kind of nervousness feelings that'll arise up because of that experience.
Oh, well, public speaking is one of the greatest fears out there, alongside or above death with people. So, it makes sense. But, one of the questions I love that we have is your most embarrassing experience. And I love when people's embarrassing experience is broken. And I love finding out how it was broken, because when you're no longer embarrassed about these things, they don't hold you back. You're not worried about how you might be seen. You worry about, like we talked in the episode here, you're going to fail. You need to fail to grow. So you're not worried about the failure. You're there to be part of it. So it's really beautiful.
Ooh,
Bill, I am completely losing your audio.
Hey, Adam.
I can hear you.
Yes. What happened there?
I think it was just a connection between us.
All right. So yeah, I didn't hear that last part that you said.
I don't think it was that important.
Okay.
We'll find out in post. Maybe there'll be an awkward edit.
But yeah, I mean, I know James through the Cruising with Steak show, and we were talking about it a little bit during the interview. It's a live show on Tuesdays, and what's cool about it is the Discord chat allows you to talk to the hosts, to talk to us as the show is happening. So, you can ask us questions, or we can get feedback from what we're saying, or, if you have a comment that is worth a shout out on the show, we can, we kind of riff off of that during Cruising with Steak.
Well, it's cool too, right? It can throw wrenches into your works and kind of throw you on different angles and paths that you weren't really aware of. So it adds a dynamic to the conversation that, would not have been there.
Exactly. It adds another dynamic. It adds another layer. Like, it makes it more complex. And that's kind of what we want to see with our Discord server, our community, the 13 Questions, free Discord chat. In case people aren't, if you're hearing this for the first time, you don't know what Discord is. It's just, it's basically like a chat room, and there's different channels that I have set up in there for different topics, and you can share links and discuss ideas. So it's a really fun place. And like I said, it kind of adds like another level, more complexity to the show. And, because I don't know, it's just kind of cool to come and hang out and interact with, the hosts or other people that listen to the show. I mean, that's kind of like what drew me into Grammarica more, is getting to have that level of access to the, the hosts and guests and, other listeners. So if you haven't, come on over and check out the 13 Questions Discord chat.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's a pretty cool place over there to hang out and to gather.
We were kind of talking about the open source aspect, the pre-show jitters. If you're having the experience of being, that nervous energy before a recording, or especially it's so different doing this show, which is pre-recorded, versus doing a live show on Tuesdays with Cruising with Steak. It's just a different vibe. It's really interesting. So I don't know, just having, if anybody's like kind of interested, we talked about radio a little bit in this episode. So like if these types of things are your hobbies, radio, hosting, podcasts, DJing, that art form, like morning, maybe, morning talk radio is your thing. You're wacky and wild, but so if this is your hobby and you want to have these experiences, we can help you make that happen. We have content here. We have the 13 questions. You can use the bonus questions, and we have, a vehicle that you can use to put your own recording out there and, really learn firsthand what it is like to take part in this creative process.
Yeah, look, it's all about, sharing knowledge and wisdom. So, we've got a template with the questions here, and we want to share this. It's kind of like you said, it's that open source, everybody has access, everybody can share that information. We can all feed on it. And, we've got the feed up there. We've got it hosted and ready to be downloaded, for you. So yeah, we like to think that we can pull all of that together. And, something that's great too, I shouldn't even say great. One of the things that I'd love to hear from people in the Discord, tell us how we're doing. I don't want to say we're in a vacuum here, but, we make changes to the show. We kind of, we let things flow in their own direction, and ultimately you're the listener. So, if you like how something's feeling or going, or you have suggestions, you're not going to hurt my feelings. So feel free to send them on over. Always love to just, hear, how we're doing and how we can, improve. And of course, also, if you happen to be out there listening and you find an audio problem in one of the podcasts, let me know. I save the files. As long as it hasn't been, too excessively long, I can go back, modify, and update. I am not without failure. But the point is, we're an open book. Reach out, find us in the Discord. Questions, if you have suggestions for new questions, always looking to expand that bonus questions or things for the show. This is certainly not a fixed format, and I don't know, man. I'm here to show and grow. So
yeah, we're pretty free flowing here, and this is all free content too. So if you find some value in the project and you want to support the show, other than just by sharing it or giving feedback, you can support us monetarily. We do have the website up and running to receive donations that, you can set the amount, and you can also set how, frequently you want to give, on a monthly basis or just a one-time. So if you, believe that what we're doing here is worth supporting and worth sharing, and you want to give us some encouragement, some feedback, you can do that by choosing to donate monetarily.
Yep. It's I don't want to say unfortunate, but it's just part of the structure of how we do things here with hosting and sharing. It's just, you have costs that tow along. So we appreciate everybody's support. And, just as importantly, share this with your friends and people that you think are going to get benefit from this. And that goes along with suggesting guests. anybody that you think would be interesting, that you think is going to be open and honest with the questions that you want to hear, send them our way. We would love to do an interview. The only thing we require is, A, the person wants to do it, is willing to come on, but is B, that we just get some decent audio quality out of the conversation, which with today's world, thankfully, is doable with things that most people already have in their house. So, yeah. I guess the last thing I should say, if you do want to contact the show, you get that through hopping into the Discord link. It's fully free there. That gets you into our Discord server. Great place to hang out. Look at the foodie pics. I don't want to say foodie pics. It makes it seem like we just got like a Yelp page on there. But it's, people discussing things that they're doing with their health, nature pics. Your philosophy section is great with lectures and things that are going on, and post music section. It's really a server that's naturally gearing itself towards a self, I won't say self-help, but like it's a place to grow. So head on over there. If for some reason you can't, technology, whatever reason, you can send an email to, and we'll send you a direct link. We're not looking to keep anything behind closed doors. We're just looking to make this community, it has so much potential. And as soon as we opened up the Discord and put that in place, when we pulled the show back here and you joined, it's beautiful, man. I didn't expect it to blossom the way it has. So I don't know, man. I'm giving kudos to you. It's kind of a beautiful thing. I like it.
Yeah, it's exciting to see, it grows organically, and just seeing it become, this thing from what it was, and helping it along and evolve. Yeah, it's definitely really cool.
Well, yeah, anybody can show up for a link, right? But when people stick around for a conversation, it's beautiful, because I don't know. I love this mindset. I love being part of this. I love where it's going, and the Discord is fun. So head on over there, get the free link to the other episodes. If you already have those, then you're just waiting for us to finish this up. So what do you say, Bill? Jump on into the episode?
I do have a little bit of news on the gratitude.
I was going to say, oh my God, are you kidding me?
I'm not going to make any promises or name any names right now, but I do think that we might have a jingle coming our way.
Oh,
soon.
I thought you were going to press a button and drop a hammer on me.
Oh, no, not quite yet, but just to tease it a little bit, I think. Maybe something might happen.
Is it somebody that I'm familiar with?
I think you might know them. Yes.
Sweet. I'm already excited.
But so no jingle yet, but we still have the segment. And I know that one of the things I kind of harp on is social media and replacing it with Discord, and constantly talking about the benefits of that. But I do maintain these accounts just because for promoting the show, and just so that my profile is I know what's going on there, and I'm not getting hacked or whatever. So anyway, I was able to use the Instagram app to reach out to somebody that I've kind of lost touch with. And the last time I spoke to him was last year, coming up on a year now, actually. So anyway, I was able to reach back out and get in contact with him, and we spoke on the phone a few days ago, and he's gonna come on the show, so it's gonna be a great chat. So I was just thinking about how neat it is that even though social media maybe isn't always the best and healthiest thing for us, it can be used in instances like this to reconnect with people, states away, because he's a couple states away from where I am, and internet doesn't really matter how far away you are, but it's just neat that you can use that tool to reach out and reconnect with somebody that you've maybe only talked to briefly in a chat room on Discord.
That's awesome.
Like me.
Well, no, you've probably heard the quote, all the darkness in the world cannot extinguish the light of a single candle. Look, man, in this universe, no matter how messed up the system is, baked into it, there's goodness that can be pulled out, exuded, and harvested. And that's just how it is. It's there, man. And so, I love kind of seeing those like sneak peeks. Hey, even in this monster of a system that's designed to control your mind, and just turn you into this monetary, number, even in all of that, you can still pull through this deep connection, a lost connection. And you wouldn't have gotten that necessarily without that technology. So I always kind of look at, that is how reality is. Even though you think the system is going to crush you, it really can't. There's always little things. I think I might have lost you again, Bill. Yep. I'm talking to myself. I was stringing that out, looking at your face not moving, and it's a beautiful mug, by the way. Or you're pantomiming, which is a complete possibility. You're really good. Staring contest initiated. Damn, he's good. Welcome back, Bill.
Yeah. So
gratitude.
That's what I'm thankful for, to, I guess, wrap up my end of the segment.
I'm incredibly grateful for one of the greatest conveniences, which is awesome and terrible. And it's fast food or fast restaurant food that you can pick up. Meaning, there was a time when you could just starve because there wasn't food around. It wasn't available. If I want to get a certain type of meat, I have to go out and hunt it. I have to, cultivate, or, I have to clean it. I have to cook it, prep this animal. If I want, vegetables, I have to grow them. But now, I can go down to a McDonald's and get a burger. It's got cow, it's got milk, tomatoes and lettuce and wheat. You have salt. There was a time in our history when salt was more valuable than gold in parts of the world. But I can walk in and take a handful for free now. Clean water coming out of tap. But at the same time, if I only eat that, I'm not going to do very good health-wise. So I have this beautiful modern convenience of being able to survive and not have the worry. And, at the same time, you still have the higher quality restaurant type foods and things where you have the ability to use your time with more value instead of slaving in to create these things. You can choose to direct that time into another task. And there was a time in history when you just didn't have the ability to do that. So it's a beautiful thing. We as bad as the world seems around with nutrition and everything else, we are still in a place that if you came from starvation and poor food options, or just dying in the winter, it's these very, anyways, I'm very thankful for the ability to pick up a meal and not go hungry every night. Being able to pick up a cheeseburger for $1.10 seems like magic to me if I was living in, like medieval times.
Yeah, compared to, like you said, way back when people had to worry about hunting and gathering and foraging and all that stuff, having all that time that was dedicated to that task now free up and available for us to use pursuing other goals is definitely something that not, a lot of people in the world right now have the luxury of. So the fact that you and I and, maybe the people listening to this do have, a little bit more time to spend leisurely, that's not occupied by just trying to stay alive and survive.
Could you imagine if you had to source your own water, either live near it or bring it back, clean it, prep it, boil it? I mean, we go buy a bottle of water pumped out of the ground. So yeah, anyways, I'm very thankful of both sides of that coin. I'm aware of the negative, and I'm thankful that it's an option, although I prefer the other.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, like I said, hopefully in the near future we'll have a little jingle for this segment. I don't have a time frame on that, but just thought I'd tease it out a little bit. And unless you got anything else, Adam, I think we can get into the interview now.
I'm ready to dive on in. I already prematurely tried diving on in. We might as well just get right on in.
Let's do it.
All right. 13 questions with James Cruz. All right, James. Well, welcome to 13 Questions, man. This feels like old hat to me. We've had
old hack.
Oh, dude, so many years and so many podcasts. Friends to Know, Cat in the Box, Cruising with Steak, Grimerica,
yes,
Black Budgets. Like it's been all over the. Contact at the cabin, meeting you in person. Finding your credit card, discovering your secret identity, like everything.
Mm-hmm. I know. There's lots of lore that goes back with you and I. Yeah. Like you and Darren.
Well, and plus up until like a month ago, D&D for 2 years, almost 3.
Oh, playing D&D, yeah, for sure. So, I know, but no, yeah, just you and like Darren and Graham are like the only people I've ever really reached out to, and in the biz, so to speak,
the biz,
and also like reaching out to a podcast. I've done I've never done that before either. But even just in general, to like any type of radio show, or whatever.
I think my first introduction to you was through through Lighting the Void. It was early on when we met. That. You were on for I want to say Drywall Universe, but it was a Electric Universe episode.
Drywall Universe, the electric for sure.
But it was an Electric Universe episode. So anyways, well, welcome to the show, James.
Anyway, 13 questions. I was blown away when Bill was talking about 13 questions a long time ago. And he's like, it came back. I'm like, I thought it, I was like, didn't it go away? Did it not? Not that it like purposely went away, but
it had a summer vacation.
Take me back to when, you got the ball rolling. You dust the wheels off, the dust off the thing. And,
it just seemed like the show had lulled out a little bit earlier this year, and I saw Darren asking in the chats one day because I just checked my phone and just happened to see that in Congress he was asking if anybody wanted to help out with the show, and so I texted him.
Nice,
and that's how we ended up here.
Don't let Bill fool you. He's been integral in getting this thing back up and running. His ability to schedule guests and have them stick to their interview times has been phenomenal. It's unheard of. I don't understand it. So
it's unheard of. Yeah, it's the best. It's only the best time.
It's fun. I don't know if I'm just getting lucky or what, but I'm going to continue to try to do it.
Well, James, you ready for question number 1?
Yeah, let's do this, man. Let's have some fun, I guess. Yeah, let's tear it up.
What was the best advice ever given to you, and would you modify it at all today?
Best advice. Yeah, I know. Yeah, these are great. I'd say it's all encompassing. With just like work hard, and then the good things will come as long as you. That's one thing I've always just kind of stuck to it. Just work hard, man.
Work ethic. Is that something that was passed down to you from like siblings and like seeing them do it? And
no, I was the oldest. I have a brother. I'm the oldest, but like my friends, like we were all kind of the same. just we were always hardworking,
Right.
you know. And then in those we got from, I guess, our fathers. Most of my friends, our parents were, they were all still together, like not divorced or anything, just hardworking families, man. Like, just weird, but not like none well off, none too rich, nothing like that. And I saw those rewards as that, right? Like, the work, when I say work hard, that's what I mean by work hard. Like, it's just weird.
Would you modify it at all today?
Nah,
Just the same, just work
I
hard.
like it. Yeah, I mean, be great making money. You know, those things come in waves. As I've learned over the years. Sometimes you make money, sometimes you don't. I don't know. It's weird, but man, though, yeah, the hardest, harder our work, more chance I have to make some more money, or the smarter I work too. But that could be misconstrued. You might want to. You could be like, oh, work smarter, not harder. You know.
Yeah, but then you lose all the exercise, right? And you have flabby muscles.
Yeah, man. Yes, there's a lot of uphill battles.
What age were you when you first got, like, what was your first, how old were you when you first started working? Like,
Damn, man.
did you have like a side hustle before you got like a paycheck?
Exactly.
Or what?
My dad used to let me go to work with him when I was like 14. So like right now, my oldest son's age, which I get. Yeah, maybe if he asked me to, like, hey, can I come work with you, or can I come, this weekend or something? Maybe sweep the halls or something. Yeah, I'm like, hell yeah, then you can make some money. But yeah, I pay him then. But I kind of would do that with my dad. He would, whatever job it was at the time. He worked at a shoe store before, and I used to go in with him and stock shoes in the back, or I would see, what else would I do? I don't know. I would go do pizza place. I used to go. Yeah, he used to be a manager at like a Little Caesars pizza place, and I used to go there and hang out and make pizzas, whatever it was when I was. So I would say like 14. Yeah, around 14 years old is probably the earliest I can remember. And yeah, it's just I always saw what it took, for at least for him and my mom, to put food on the table for two kids. It seemed hard enough, man. And yeah, and now I get pissed. Yeah, but I'm like, man, you two, these kids here, these kids.
You're seeing that flip
I
side.
was like, dude, yeah, you appreciate shit. Yeah, I was like, you motherfuckers. But someday we'll figure.
Yeah,
it all out.
someday you'll figure it out and rub it in their face, and the cycle will
I'll figure
continue.
a way out to mess with them. Yeah. But
what? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, man. Yeah.
What was the most important lesson you learned from your parents?
I mean, it's still ongoing, but just like the I guess family, man. Like the word family, that keeping it alive and well. Some people like stray away. They don't want to be around their family. I mean, I'm kind of in the middle of it. I've always been stuck in the middle of the family drama, so to speak.
Well, it is true that you can't pick your family, so there's always a middle ground.
Totally, right? Yeah. So those things kind of drive me nuts, man. At times, you love it and you hate it, dude. But yeah, my mom's always been super hardcore with it. My dad's always been super quiet with it. But but never losing sight of it, man. And how important, I think it really is important. And I don't know, as long as someone's always reaching out there for you to come spend time with them, I think that's a good thing.
No, it's beautiful, man.
Yeah. Because someday you're not going to have that. And it's going to suck. Yeah. So
it's an inevitability.
That's why I talk about inevitable and don't let the bad things mess it and keep you down.
That's right, man. It's going to happen today. So what happened? What if you knew it was going to happen tomorrow? Everything in your life would change today. So you got to kind of keep that couched, like, live every day kind of like it's your last.
Dude, that's my motto. It's always been, I don't know. I always try to live it like that. If that's if that was one of your questions on your list, that would totally be on what I would have said.
What?
Because
oh yeah, no, go on.
No, that's exactly like something I would always would have said. Live it like there's not like super cliche, but just enjoy it, man.
Don't turn down an opportunity that might not come again because you don't have the time, man. Maybe it's a week, maybe it's a month, maybe it's a decade.
They're not worth it. All that bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That shit that sits in your head for a week or two that you said that you shouldn't have said. That if something happened at that time, you would have to live with that burden forever.
And it just seems like that something like that is so much more amplified when it is with family, like between family too.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, you're sitting. Even the argument about the television remote; those are insane arguments, right? But they kick off things that like stir up shit from that. That's a lot deeper than just fucking. You wanted to watch Channel 6. She wanted to watch Channel 8.
Let's hope it's deeper than that, because if it's if the technology of a remote that's causing arguments, man, we're doomed. Those things have full control of us.
Be like, bitch, I want to watch ESPN. Speaking of foosball, you and Fred going to the damn bar too much, playing pool. What? Playing pool? Yeah. Yeah, who knows? Whatever the issue at hand is. Yeah. Hanging out the bar. It's been a long time. Do you guys ever hang out at a bar like that? Like on a weekly basis?
Used to.
Yeah, I used to. When I was in retail, it was kind of, drinking was a coping mechanism that everybody did.
Hanging out at the bar.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that time in my life is gone, and thankfully I don't miss it.
It's the worst. The worst. Anywho.
What book has been most influential on your life and why?
Oh yeah, I saw that on that list. I mean, one of the coolest books I've read, I guess one of the only books probably I've been hip to reading was like The Invisible Man. Like H.G. Wells, I think.
The original man, or Invisible
the original
Man.
one. Yeah. That one was awesome. I always thought that was a cool book. And I remember reading it and enjoying it the whole time and doing a report on it and all that jazz. Like, I think that would be one of my favorites.
Is there anything that stuck with you through life that, when situations or things come up, you kind of think about, like The Invisible Man there, that book's still with me.
Oh, like that I could take out of that? Yeah. Oh, I don't remember. I really don't know. I think maybe. Oh man, that's a crazy one, because I'd have to really rack my brain and seeing if I heard something that was like a one-liner out of that movie or something. That's something, or out of a movie or out of the book, like that really. That would be the relation to probably like the book, at least. I don't know if I would have taken anything literal out of it. I don't know. Maybe.
What daily habits or rituals do you have?
Oh man, man! It used to be like and a pack of Marble Lights in a box, whatever it was, every morning at the gas station. It's like you buy a coffee or a Monster, and it'd be like, and a pack of Marble Lights in a box, and a pack of Marble Lights in a box. Those that used to come out of my mouth constantly until I quit smoking for sure. Now my rituals are, man, a ritual. I wish I need to get like a.
Do you do anything
ritual.
like drink coffee? Or
No, that's what I mean. I wish I did more of like a morning yoga thing or something. That'd be better to do. But no, man. I mean, I make sure I just grab all my stuff and before I head out. And I guess a morning ritual though is I have to I love listening to like my morning local sports show. It's like a comedy kind of sports show, and I love listening to that. And then yeah, I guess a ritual for me is local radio. I love it. I love radio in general. So
Dude, that's something that I've been missing because
yeah,
since the whole pandemic, I've been working from home, so I don't have a commute to work anymore, so I don't have that
that
listen to
dedicated
the radio
time.
time because that radio is something like one of my interests.
Yeah, I have a huge passion for it. I love it. But when it's done really well, right, dude? Yeah.
Well, and the funny thing, radio's not going away. It's hyper localized when it's done, right in locally,
done
which
really
is
well,
which is what Facebook is trying to do.
The Cleveland market is huge for radio. It's always has been. Which same with probably Indiana and for you down in Lantana there.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
So we're all in high markets, I think, for at least the person's listening ear, which is pretty sweet. So I think there's a lot of history in radio, especially here. I don't know, and correlating it all and with that is fun.
Yep. And hey, and what have you done now? You are you're essentially the new
podcaster.
Radio. Yeah, podcaster. Yeah. Everybody's got a wireless signal. You can download or stream it anywhere. So why has it got to be a radio signal?
I like that. Yeah. It's funny. Like those shows that I listen to. The one guy, he's younger. He's probably in his 30s now, and He always used to rip on that whole aspect. Oh, they're just podcasts. But now, if you listen to a radio show, they talk about podcasts. Oh, a whole show podcast available. Oh, blah. You listen to it here, download it here, your pod player here. Yeah, they're promoting the same shit, dude. It's ridiculous. So you can't rip on anybody that rips on that kind of thing. They're full of crap.
They want to be on the big team, the CNN, the large market.
You work for whatever.
Yeah, well, here's the beautiful thing.
You have a lot of people listening to that station, but it's just like any algo and any number. That's not the real truth.
If you're doing a news story against a drug company who happens to be an advertiser.
Oh, good luck.
Good luck doing that news story because you exist for revenue. News isn't about the truth. But if you're a podcaster at home who's spending his own money to, stream their own content or their own time to do it and host it, well, guess what? What do you have now? It's a different type of truth. And there's a lot more people able to do that. A lot more people with, exactly. And that's what you're doing, man. We should also, we'll make sure we put it all in the links here, man. But you guys on your podcast, you touch on any third rail, and I love it.
We're definitely pissing on it too while you're touching it. I'm getting all shocked. Shocked to your system, man. Dude, it's been a fun ride over the years to go from a basic podcast. It's always been a little bit out there. And now it's completely off the rails. It's been off the rails for about a year or so, and I couldn't have asked for anything better. It's great.
You guys have very few rules. Things pop up
Very.
like no interviews.
No interviews.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay,
We
this is
stopped.
like,
Yeah, we stopped doing interviews.
but it's
like
very
that,
simple rules. This isn't like anything crazy. This is just like
we're anti-pedophilia.
yeah, we got
sure.
10 commandments here, guy. The 10
Yeah,
the
there's
10
a
podcast
couple.
things,
There's a few. There's only a few rules.
yeah.
That show's amazing. It has it's morphed into its own thing. It always has. And the wheels just keep coming off. There's no wheels left.
Yeah, Cruising with Steak has been fun to be a part of.
Yeah, dude, Bill's been. Yeah, all you guys have been here for the longest time, man. It's so much fun.
I need to jump back in with you guys.
Oh man,
I'm from like the early days.
Yes.
And I fell off the boat and I'm just like floating out there in the ocean. But I will no longer be a man overboard at some point in time.
Nah, man. Anytime, dude. Stop in over Tuesday nights. Yeah. And now we do those Patreons, but they're we do them differently depending on Steve's schedule. So if he's got like 2 back-to-back days off, we might do them that way, or we might spread it out. And my schedule, mine's kind of whack out, man. Yeah, so it's just we just had our third kid. All hell's breaking loose here. Yeah, it's like, fucking, we're having a lot of fun though, man. So
this may be,
and that was amped up there. Hear about 13 questions again.
Well, I was gonna say this might be about Steve. This next question.
Okay, yeah.
If I were to ask your best friend, what is the one thing they would say you need to work on the most, and why? And listen, it's just a bigger compliment if you say that bastard ain't my friend. It's as good as like a shit email or what is it? The hate mail. The hate mail segment.
Hate mail. Yes, yeah. Hate mails. It's a love or hate kind of thing, right? Yeah. It could be any of that. Hate mail's really taking a turn for the better lately. It's been great. That's what's so cool about it. You just come up with any story, just float it along. We'll read it.
So what would your friend say? What is the one thing
friend
that
say? Wait. Oh, sorry. Was it?
I'll repeat. If I were to ask your best friend, what is the one thing they would say you need to work on the most, and why?
Oh. I mean, one thing I've always sucked at is being on time or some shit like that. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of my friends have been pretty punctual. Once in a while they'd rub it in my face, which is fine. Steve was definitely a punctual kind of guy. I'm definitely a non-punctual kind of guy. He knows that. He calls it drug dealer time. That's how I operate. Yeah. So that's probably the one thing where he'd be like, "Man, get your shit together," or whatever. Which I've been getting told that my entire life, so it only makes common sense.
Well, you also have your priorities in different orders because your kids come first. They got projects going on. Different. It's not just like you're not there. It's like,
you got so much string to be pulled on, man.
Yeah, I had this to do. I had to help my wife with this. I mean, it's not like you're just Captain Forgetful.
They're like, oh, and there's a Windows update. Like, son of a bitch.
Yeah,
so I get all that shit planned out. Then I get the button.
Yeah. And then it's one of the big updates that has to restart like 9 times.
And you gotta wait.
And you don't know how many times you're sitting there staring going, God damn it.
Oh, it's the worst. Yep. Yeah. I just did all that for that son of a bitch. Now you gotta wait for 10 more minutes. So those are the kind of things. Yeah.
What are you most curious about?
Oh shit. I don't know. I get what am I most curious about? I think like I'm always curious about trying to improve why I'm so obsessed with trying to improve my skills at being like an entertainer, like a podcaster, so to speak. Like, why am I always so curious about that? Like, why is that always a thing that bothers me? Like, why do I? And at the same time, like, like, yeah, like, why am I? Do I care that I care about that? That annoys me.
Well, that's interesting. It's the inner voice, right? That's
yes. It's like I love, like, and I told you earlier though. Yeah, I love radio. I think it sounds cool.
Is it?
I think there's an art form there, right? And I think that's all it is. It's an art, and I like to be a good artist.
It's not like imposter syndrome. Like, is it where it's questioning why you're interested, or is it more just like a curiosity?
Yeah, it's a curiosity, but also, I guess with any performer, you want to make sure you're doing a good job and you're performing and entertaining people. I guess that's the curiosity of it, and like, but at the same time, a lot of these performers and people will be like, "Oh, I don't care," but I think that's what bugs me. Everyone cares, and that's the thing. That's bullshit. I mean, you care. You wouldn't do it if you didn't care, I guess.
You would hope.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't care, man. I just like fucking hanging out Tuesday nights with all these people. I don't give a fuck. I don't know.
Yeah.
What I've speaking of podcasting and radio, like something that is a difference between them, I guess, is like there's been no really set out like path or examples for podcasting or podcasters to take. Like there's no like really precedence because it is, such a new development. And speaking of, the grand scheme of things that's already, happened.
You know what? That's
so great. It's like, like who knows? Like it, it's still, we're all still experiencing and learning about it.
Yeah, one of the coolest things I've learned lately and listened to lately, in a comparison of like Cruising with Steak and like is in a radio show, like a real radio show, like comparison, like it's weird, like which would be this Barstool Sports, and it has multiple people, like let's say 6 or 7 fucking people on one show.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane, and they get it done. They do it. It's just because everyone's learns the cadence of another of the co-host, right, over time, which basically how we're able to pull that off, but sorta. but they do a good job of it, and they are a sports station, but it's a little sports-ish. It's mostly a talk show, just like ours. We say we're a conspiracy. I mean, yeah, some of it's conspiracy. It's a talk show of what's going on, and that's all it is. It's pretty funny, and pulling that all off every week and it's fun listening to it all, and this art form. And
well, it's a restricted art form too, because you have to deal with the FCC. Advertisers,
but they're not.
rules.
They're on Sirius.
Oh, which is a different sort of freedom. There's some restriction, but it's not nearly.
Yeah, not nearly.
Now,
not nearly. Yeah,
podcasts are beautiful, man. Because if you don't care, here's what you need: an RSS feed.
Yeah,
you can host your own files. A lot easier and more efficient to have somebody else do it, but as long as you have a hosted file and the ability to share an RSS, you can be a podcaster. So, it's a different media. It's as long as you don't use copyrighted content, there's really not much that can be done. Follow rules, allegedly, things like that, but nothing crazy. You can say crazy shit.
I think one of the things that it's done is kind of increased the number of gatekeepers to knowledge. So because, before we used to rely on, just what was on the cable news. Mm-hmm. And now there's so many other voices that, the narrative is much harder to control.
Yep. It's harder to find, but it's harder to control. As where before you may never see the original narrative. Now you have to decide on the real narrative versus all the fake narratives that have been used to obfuscate. But it's a better problem.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. aspect of thinking right there. That's an idea of how Cruising with Steak started. Everyone, for the longest time, we've got a chance to finally, because of a new medium, soak in and listen to so much knowledge of other people and interviews with all that stuff. We were at that breaking point, like Adam says, like now we can go and on to the next phase of this and talk about it all. And instead of doing another show with interviews, now we have the 8 people coming on and talking about it all and for 2 hours every week, whether it's one subject or 6 different subjects that particular night. Whatever rhyme or reason, and those things just
and it's beautiful, man. You guys have a way of just letting the show have its own flow.
Yeah, it's its own thing. It's all and yeah, the whole. Okay, so now what's this new wave of research going to be like, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how that's going to be with fake news and all this crap out here. Like, I wonder how that's going to be. All these cool researchers, right? That we thought were so cool, and even little by little, you find out that they're not really that cool. I don't know. And then when we only found out they were only cool for like 2 years.
It's like the more information comes out,
or the ones that were worshipped like in the 70s, like Von Däniken shit, for like Eric Von Däniken.
Well,
like
there is an old adage of never meet your heroes.
Right. It was always cool, a lot cooler in a book, or a lot cooler in a.
Now the interesting thing,
too much info.
It's interesting that you bring that up because at the same time, we always hold people on pedestals, but nowadays people are knocked down for every little thing that they've done.
Oh yeah.
It's the pendulum swinging, which is good because if everybody is flawed and everybody's secrets are exposed, eventually there's probably going to be this acceptance of being a screw up in whatever category you've been labeled.
Yeah.
So I never thought about it from that angle, that there's kind of that flip side.
I think you're gonna find that happen more and more and more. Like we always say that with anime here lately. Like, oh man, that guy got roped up in some CP. Like, the laws over in Japan are a little bit more lax. But hey, the art looks pretty sweet. That's what happens with that shit.
What was the most embarrassing or humbling experience of your life?
Oh man, fuck me banana. Shit about shit my pants. Fucking doing some whitewater rafting. That sucked. Yeah.
Were you in the raft at the time?
No,
I assume with like a group of people?
On a bus. Yeah, like on a short bus.
Wait. So what happened?
Oh, it was like
fill us in. This is a new story to all of us.
Remember, dude, I told you that.
Yeah, but
not me clips of that. But not these people.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Or me. I haven't heard this story.
You don't remember? Oh, yeah.
I've never heard the shitting bus story. Or the shitting short bus story.
Fuck me banana.
River bus?
Okay, so it was like, oh man, probably 2002 or something like that. Yeah. One of my friends was water rafting, like down in like the New River and the Gully River, which is in West Virginia. And they had like the New River Gorge, the Gully River. Anyway, it was in October, and it was the Gully River, and where you put into this river, the bottom of it is like it's a reservoir at the top, but at the bottom is the river. So they open up the reservoir and it starts letting letting it rip down the river, it starts getting it going really well. So anyway, my buddy Brad, he grew not like we and him grew up together. He ends up moving down there. He's lived down there for multiple years at this point in time. He's worked on that river for a long time. He worked for a company that people would go and pay to take them on river tours. And then he was also involved with that, but in a different aspect. He would be in a kayak. He'd go out before you, and he'd be out posted up along the way filming your trip. And he'd be filming that experience for you. So at the end of the trip, or that in that day's run or whatever, you can buy that film, and that's how a lot of these dudes would make money down there. So he had all these friends that did all that stuff. So we were staying with some friends that did that. I got to ride with a couple people. I rode with 2 other families on that trip. They're just like, yeah, jump on in, man. Okay, it's cool. I got to go on a river like 4 times, dude. I didn't pay $1. I mean, probably got like $2,000 worth of runs out of that river that weekend. But anyway, it's like, it was great. So I got to ride with them, and the next morning, though, we're getting ready to do the one trip that was, or the one of these runs that was going to be. It was the most epic day ever, but like it began off like shitty, literally, almost, really, and.
So what happened when the bus stopped? Were you first one off? Were you flying to the nearest tree?
We're getting ready. I'm eating something. I eat like a banana and like crackers or something. Early in the morning, it's like 6 in the morning. Riding up bright and early, and then we're on our way to put in on this river. And we're on this bus, and we're like halfway there, and I'm just like, oh, my stomach. And fucking sure enough, I just keep telling myself, like, fuck me, man, fuck me, banana, son of a bitch, you gonna take me out? And at the same time, I'm like, just ripping farts and it's just the worst. It's just like something like a Saturday Night Live skit, just tooting the farting.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, just terrifying.
So I take it you didn't.
Kinda. It's really funny in the long run, like. Just, and at the end, I mean, I was about dying. I had tears coming out my eyes of pain and joy and laughter and embarrassment, all of the above. Just horrifying.
So I take it you didn't make the whitewater trip. You went for the mudslide instead.
The mudslide, yeah, no.
So I had to get that in there. I've been holding that joke for a while.
Yeah. Oh man, it was a mud flood for sure. The mud flood in my pants. Mud flood. Yeah, just no, man. Yeah, I was running out there like I was gonna die. Yeah, and like then sure enough, was all calmed down after that. And proceeded to have a great day on the river, man. It was awesome.
Nice.
It was awesome. Yeah.
What is your greatest fear, and how did you overcome it, if you have?
Greatest fear. I don't. No. That's a tough one. Fear's a weird one for me. I always try not to let things bother me too much.
Is there a fear you've overcome though? Something that did bother you, but you found a way to
I would say
tackle
just
it?
being a family guy, like sticking it out and like actually going along with what I'm supposed to do, at least in my head, of being a good dad, like sticking it all out, man. Like,
well, that makes sense, right? Because you kind of came from like not a lifestyle or background, but you were in metal bands, so you were kind of like what you did. It was part of just that's the environment, man. If you're like in the fish tank, so I can see where
still act like a kid, dude. That's what I mean. Like,
your kids probably love you.
Yeah, they're great. And that's why they still like me a little bit. Yeah, I still goof off too much.
Dude, Dad sprained his wrist doing a kickflip.
Right. Stuff like that. Just, so always don't lose sight of that thing. In your, a lot of these things we keep saying, but they keep overlapping of just like, don't live life like it's your last, every day like it's your last, it just have an awesome time, man. Yeah. Just have a gay old time.
What quality do you most admire in a man, and why?
Man, yeah, it's kind of like the dad thing, right?
Well, especially today, the
man,
like the definition of what being a man is. It's a
dude.
It's an encompassing question because you kind of figure out like, am I speaking of being a man in today's world of how it's described? It's an open-ended question, but I think of it more like when I think of just what a man is or my personification, what I think I should be. Like, what is that?
I know some people would be like, "Oh, I think it's okay for a guy to cry." Yeah, if a guy didn't cry, then he's a piece of shit. Yeah, like I don't know. Fuck, firm handshake. Yeah. No, what do I want in a guy like that? I think. What was it? Right? Yeah.
What quality do you most admire in a man?
And I admire in a man? Yeah.
You can say beautiful twinkling eyes.
Yeah, man. Strong, powerful. It's all powerful cock. Yeah, that's what it is. No. One quality. I don't know. Yeah, just
It's fine not to have an answer. There is no wrong or right way to answer a question. So, if there's not a quality that you can settle on, that's fine, my friend.
Yeah, it's like.
Or maybe, is there a quality that you admired in your father? Something that he brought to the table that you were able to carry on through your kids? I'm asking the tough questions.
I know. No, it's like my dad was quiet. My dad's quiet. He still is. And it doesn't really faze me that much. Like, I always found it like, even now, it's like I wish I could do like less is more.
Like when he speaks, it's
like
more important.
It really better be worth
like
it.
You hold on, you're grasping the words because there's always meaning there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's crazy weird, but that's kind of how I view it too. Yeah, and it doesn't come across that way, at least on my kids. To me, there's no way they can comprehend that thinking.
Yeah,
like not at their age. 14, 8. No. So, as long as I can comprehend like half of what I'm saying, I'll be all right.
Who and or were your role models and why?
Role models, I would say, like, I mean, yeah, like I always thought my parents were pretty cool, like as a unit in general, like for sticking things out when things were tough. It's easy for people to give up these days, right? I always think that. I always thought that for like divorcees and divorcees and all my friends that split and over dumb shit. Yeah, there are legit reasons people do get divorced or split. But for the easy little dumb things, or like I don't know. And sometimes it makes sense though, and sometimes I do appreciate that a couple or even an older couple to make a decision to do that because you're just holding the other person back, or for them venturing out.
We kind of live in a disposable society, right? A swipe left, swipe right, have things delivered, cancel a subscription. We're not hunting, we're not we're not having these things that take a lot of work, finding that right mate and things that you need to work on and cultivate. We're in a quick fix, take a pill. So it kind of makes sense that when you're surrounded by all that advertising and influence and culture and social and all the people around you that are living in that consumer demand, that you would carry it on into, the same type of a mindset.
Yeah, and I hate to have that kind of thinking, I guess, but because I never had to deal with anything like that. My last date around or thon or whatever was 2002 or something, 2003. Yeah, like I didn't really fuck with Tinder, this, that, and swiping shit. I wasn't an online dater. I didn't have to. And it was kind of crazy how I meet the girl that I ended up meeting, and I'm still with her. It's just like when you meet the right person, you meet the right person.
So I love that your role model is kind of like that beautiful thing that two people bond over.
My role model is a
to,
decent marriage. Yeah, it's an example of a decent marriage, I guess, right? And something basic though, go by that I could function as an adult. My wife definitely keeps me centered. Oh my god, I'd be a mess, dude. I'd be a complete mess.
I think that
I'd be a complete mess.
That also speaks to like just the level of commitment too, because with nowadays, like, because commitment takes time, and like nowadays everything's so quick. They want everything instantly.
I'm too busy.
Who grows their own crops where you have to through the entire season tend to it every day or so many days, protect it. And if you don't do that one thing, months and months of survival are gone.
Yeah, man. If you're over at Nikki the Dude's place and you mess up the beats, man, there ain't gonna be no beats this year.
Yeah. But imagine
Nikki the Dude's gonna be pissed at you for a year.
So now that's your mindset. Now you're in a village of 75 or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If we have a fight, we're gonna talk about it. Like, I'm not just gonna go out and grab my app and fly into Tinder. So it's beautiful because you're like where I'm seeing it's almost like it's a very deep core part of being a human being. This thing that we're losing. People still have it and people still find it, but it's not like a defined focal point, a need, relationships like that didn't come out of contracts. The contracts came out of that.
I happened to be out at a bar. I turned around and my wife, or at the time, my girlfriend, Cindy, I turned around and she's like, "I like your shirt." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "I like your shirt." And I was like, "Oh," it's just like a Deftones shirt.
Do you remember?
We met that way because she liked the same music.
Do you have do you know the logo design?
It's just a white pony one. It's just Deftones, and it was I just remember that album was out when we met. Yeah, it was like and they had the horse. It was just looked like a Mustang, logo.
Dude,
white pony logo.
These are these great moments in like life and time of like a left could have been a right, because what if for whatever reason you wore a different shirt? Your cat peed on it. It got a hole torn in the laundry machine. Like, there's all these things that could have been completely out of your control
that night. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You ate that bad banana on on a different night. These are the cool things where I love to think about. It's kind of like the Men in Black 3 type of moments.
Yeah. I know that it's fun stuff. I like to look back on some of those things and like, man, would I still be doing this? But still, would I want to have done that? Or I mean, if I, if I be when I'm telling a story, and sometimes the feels really hit me when I'm telling a story, when I'm telling one of those stories. And if that happens, I know like it was a big point, and I'll try to really hone it in and let those stories try to exude a little bit more oomph when I tell them. I do have a lot of crazy stories, and they're all true.
And only a third of them
Yeah.
involve head trauma.
A lot involve head trauma. I am not gonna lie. Dude.
No, I loved it. We were telling
Yeah.
stories one night. I don't know how we got onto it. I'm like,
lot.
Like, bro, like you did a lot of like snowboarding and like skating,
a lot of
and
sports and a lot of football.
Oh, yeah.
Everything involved with a helmet. I've tried it. Yeah, and racing and even racing.
Nice.
The go-karts, right? Yeah, the
Oh, that was-
go-karting and it's just fun. I've always just not that I was like an adrenaline junkie or whatever. It just things got faster and faster, and it didn't faze me to like try these things.
Gotcha.
And my some of my friends were into them.
You didn't have a
barely
governor.
Here and there, but a lot. A lot of my friends had the basic sports we all played, and some like that's how I met through some of the other ones. Like the one kid, like they had a dirt bike or whatever. But then that wasn't as cool as the one dirt bike that the other kid had. That thing was way cooler.
Yeah.
That one was like the cooler one at the cool motocross track, not like Uncle Joe's grandpa's dirt bike. Yeah. Nah, man, the Yamaha RX 250 or whatever the fuck it is. That thing was cool. So, but growing up out in the middle of nowhere, also where I grew up was really cool. It warranted for like some pretty cool things like laying around, or what have you, or like older, a different, like a sibling, one of your friend's siblings had, or whatever, was pretty cool.
Well, you know what I love this too, man, is a lot of what you're talking about is actually, it's very like nature based or earth based. Like a lot of the things you were doing, it's not like, football and stuff, but not competitive sports. Snowboarding is, that's interfacing with nature and reality on a completely different level. There's an enjoyment, but so yeah, that's so cool that like that was, like a huge part of it. It's not just like you were just into the sports, like you wanted to enjoy the experience.
Definitely. Like I played team sports, but that was a big part of some of my experience and cooperating with groups, and there's different levels of that is involved with that.
Now what sport?
Each team sport has its own level of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, which sport did you find the most beneficial? Like
football.
Really?
I guess just because of the physicality of it and what you go through.
But what about from like a team building
unit
aspect?
Together?
Okay, gotcha.
No, like so you're all going through this whole thing for this one common goal, right? Team, whatever the goal is to win. It's more about the pain involved that you're going through it together. You might not have the same injury, or you might not, but like the goal is and the pain to get to there, is all is the common thing, and there's a sacrifice involved with that, which is yourself. Because if you're not doing that, you're gonna get hurt, especially playing a sport like that. And yeah, even going all the way down the 8th grade, it's fucking violent sport. I always thought it was pretty cool though, man. I don't know, something about it. It was like there's like this legally, like you could just beat the piss out of somebody else. I always thought that was
well,
cool.
yeah. I think it's probably the most
Yeah.
dangerous sport
It's
out
super
there.
dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah, they did a
super violent.
They did a study
Yeah.
on CTE where they took like over
Yeah.
100 people ranging from high school to professional player who had played
Yeah.
football at varying degrees, and every single person except for like
Oh.
2 of them had CTE. And you start to think about
I've played
things.
seasons where I was a pussy and didn't do shit. And yeah, it's great. Having a great time. But dude, when you want to step it up and like show that you
Yeah.
can play this game and you think you got the balls to do it until you get your fucking bell
it's
rung,
crazy.
dude.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
this. I'm going to
Yeah.
run head first with
Into a
equipment
brick
that's
wall.
designed not even into a brick wall,
No,
a brick
yeah.
wall that is running just as fast
At
as
you.
you
Yeah.
are with
Yeah.
a pointed hard surface. So you're cracking heads. So how
Yeah.
fast can you run? I mean, that's an impact without a seatbelt at that level.
Yeah,
At very minimum,
dudes-
daily, over. And it's not just on the
Right.
field; it's in training, and then it's
Yeah,
going and getting
and-
knocked out, getting hit and rung, and doing it
And
again
those
and
dudes
again.
it's over and over every play. And like for a person like us, maybe it's every once a week. These dudes it's like every play. It's like that.
Exactly.
Bam. Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy.
So,
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend your kids go into it, but
as far as
you're right.
sports
It builds like a different character that you can't get if you don't have that trauma involved.
Yeah, but I also okay. Then I'll go back to some of the good things I've gotten out of it. Is the best like is the like is from like the snowboarding and the skateboarding and stuff is there's a whole different level of learning things and self gratification and teaching your oneself, like don't there's like there's like the don't quit mentality, because it's very simple like another one of these things these days and this day and age it's very simple to quit. I quit. No. My kids are like, how'd you learn how to do a kickflip? I was like, because I didn't fucking quit. I kept doing it until I learned how to do a kickflip.
I didn't have Nintendo.
Yeah.
I had a skateboard.
Yeah, I had that. I was like, but I wanted to learn how to do a kickflip.
Yeah, let's be fair.
Yeah,
how many games did you have on your Nintendo?
No, nothing like
you know
we
what I mean?
have today.
How many times can you play Mario before you need to take a
Yeah.
break and do something else?
I know.
This
I
isn't
know.
multiplayer,
I told
you
them all the
know.
time. Yeah, I was like, yeah.
When I was your age.
I wish I could fucking do that. I'm like, yeah, like, well, good. Let's go. I'll drop you off and you go learn how to do a frontside grind. I don't know. I was like, that's how you learn how to do it. You go watch like someone do it like 25 times. And then you go do it 25 times.
All right.
But it's gonna take you 600 to do them 25 times.
All right. Easy rule. You eat nothing
Yeah.
but carrots
Yeah.
until you do a kickflip.
Yeah, that seems about right. Yeah, because I don't know. You'll be chugging. Yeah, like you'll have like just big gallon things of water, and you'll just spend half your time getting up every morning, skating, fucking trying to hit that thing. I always found it challenging, and so I was doing those things but playing football. So it was always like this weird skater kid, but like on the football team. I don't know. I was a rare breed. Yeah,
It's awesome.
to say the least. Yeah. And then eventually, like my junior, senior year is when the whole music thing exploded for me. Yeah, when everything went sidetracked, because that's where I really come out of my shell, so to speak. Yeah, and I changed like my persona, my life, everything changed for me after that.
That's beautiful, dude. You kind of found like your true calling, right? Like the thing that you were drawn to.
Being creative and an outlet. Yeah, and not being afraid of that type of thing or being, I don't know, not even a forefront. I mean, good Lord, how can more crazier can you get as being in a band, right? But like just talking to people in general. And not being afraid of that. But sure, yeah, being a band, be right in front, and then you could be a singer too. Not even a guitar player where you can kind of be on the stage. No, you got to be a singer guy. Yeah. And you got to, it's just, it's how it was. I don't know. And like step by step, you get a little bit more braver at these things. Doing a podcast really wasn't, that didn't faze me just because of that experience.
Yeah, you're not going to get a beer bottle thrown at you when you're sitting here at home.
No. And if we could do these live shows one day, I'll humbly welcome a chucked beer bottle in my direction. Yes.
This question is the one that I'm most interested in hearing your answer to. What institution of society or structural aspect of modern life would you change given the chance?
Oh, man.
Keys to the castle, buddy. You get to play Sim City right now and make one massive change to the world.
I like that. Yeah, it's like some daily thing that everybody uses, and you're always like, damn, that'd be sweet if that was that. Yeah. Oh, what the hell would that be?
Yeah, because like a lot of guests have mentioned the education system or the financial.
Sure. Yeah, mine would be like curved hallways, so you could skate them, or something.
Oh,
yeah, like everything's got like a 3-foot lip on it. Yeah. No.
Listen. No. Not even from a joke standpoint. I've talked about this because I used to do accidents and insurance claims for people tripping and falling, and you would have people that would trip over edges of carpet. We have flattened the world so much that we cannot walk. And if people walk on uneven surfaces, they're using different muscles that they never use. They pull things. So it's kind of like if you modified the world in a way with more structures that you had more ability to maneuver. Hey, you can use a skateboard to get around. You can use your feet. You can jump. You can parkour. You can move over uneven surface. Like if you had more of these options, because right now you walk through the city. Even I do this. I walk on curbs and stuff. I try to like flex more muscles and take uneven ground, step on a root here or there. But if you made a city that way, like, man, that might be like a huge benefit for health that you don't even know. That could be a game changer.
It could be. We could make like little special, like even like little tubes also, like these are like Running Man tubes, like those coffin tubes.
Yeah. I love those things. Go flying, dude. It's Running Man 2020. So
it'd be so crazy. I think. No, I'm trying to think. Yeah, like what ultimate thing would? Yeah, I wonder. Oh man, it'd be like. Yeah, no kid goes home. No, man, it's like everyone gets like everyone gets like a dirt bike or something.
I think Obama already did this with Cash for Clunkers.
Yeah,
turn in your old one, get a new one.
Yeah, everyone gets a dirt bike going out of high school. It's like Mad Max. Yeah.
when you turn 15.
You turn 15. Yeah, you turn 15.
Oh.
You got to go do the Running Man.
Yeah, it's like
they send you to Australia. Like every person has to do this. When they turn 15, you go to Australia and they off the boat, right? And then you got to like make your way across it or some shit. Yeah, like if you survive, you get to make it back and go to your own country of choice.
Do you imagine how terrifying if it was where it was like militias? I think it's in Arkansas. There's a militia that, like, when you turn 18, you're a regular member. So, like, when you turn 15,
population control.
When you turn 15,
people.
every person gets a dirt bike. No license needed. You just get a dirt bike.
What I mean. Everyone gets a dirt bike.
You get like 5 gallons of gasoline, a couple of oil changes.
Hey man, you get like the backpack and a dirt bike, and like Honda makes out on just the initial purchase.
All right, I hope some miracle happens where you get to be in control of this thing because it'll be exciting. This is going to be like
and then
Marble Madness.
everybody
Man.
else makes out on population control. I mean, but can you imagine like halfway through there's just this? I mean, it's just called Mount Body or whatever. Like, I mean, everyone would just be dead. There'd be no one making it over Mount Body.
Everybody lives for free, but one day, once every single day, you have to go through Mount Body.
Yeah, you're up halfway up Mount Body, just third revving on somebody's face.
What was the most courageous thing you have ever done or seen in your life?
Oh man. I've done some pretty crazy shit to save somebody. Let's see, or to save something.
Just courageous. Whatever you define as being courageous.
Oh man,
I mean, courageous can be quitting substances. Courageous can be jumping into the water where you think you're going to drown because you can't swim to save somebody, or it could be seeing something so profound that the other person doing it just changed your heart. That it's an open ended.
Yeah.
Maybe it was, the courage to clench your cheeks tight enough to make it through that bus ride.
That was an epic. It was a feat of epic proportions. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the most?
I had to use 2 porta potties coming out of that one.
I filled one up.
Yeah.
So what was the most courageous thing you've
courageous thing? Let's see. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I've done a bunch of things to help people. I'm trying.
What was like the most recent thing?
Yeah.
Might have been a while since, COVID.
Or maybe, one that just
because
sticks.
of COVID. Well, I licked this lady's fork just to make sure.
Make sure it was
COVID free. I said, "Let me try that." I said, "It looks good. It tastes good to me." Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. One. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah. Let me. Recent courageous thing. I don't know. I don't want to waste any more time. I don't know.
It's okay. No answers, dude.
Yeah.
That because courageous, it's one of those things it's very subjective.
I know. I'm trying to think of something cool though. I'm always doing something crazy, dude. Like,
well, it doesn't even have to be something crazy. It could just be, I saw somebody who was paralyzed have the courage to be able to learn to walk a different way or push through and actually regain some mobility. Somebody recovering from, a brain injury or an accident. Your kid learning to read and not stopping. I mean, it could be something simple.
I'm dealing with my first EMA, emotional support animal. Motherfucking yeah, I'm dealing with that. That's the first time I've ever had to deal with this. Particularly I have 2 apartment buildings. We don't accept dogs, But I've never had a person come to me and be like, I got the letter, I got all this shit, I got it from the psych ward, saying that I need to have this dog, Now somebody has the letter, and it's funny. I run that by my crazy right wing awesome super father-in-law, and he's like, what the hell are these people going through these days? You gotta have a goddamn dog everywhere. You might as well bring your donkey on an airplane. I'm like, yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah. Giraffes. Like a mini giraffe or something.
Well, hopefully it's not going to cause you problems. A lot of people are very courteous with their animals, and
exactly.
It's a lot about the animal. This, like, if you have a good animal, man, they're good.
So check this out though. Then I ran that by him. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna say yeah because like technically, I don't think you can stop it anyway. And it was like there, and so I actually did call back the place. I was like, yeah, I was like, can you even stop one of these things? She's like, no, not really. She's like, the only thing I've ever heard of anything stopping it is like some insurance companies, like as far as insurers, might not carry the insurance claim because like say they might say if it was a claim and it was like a pit bull or some shit, they might have some like anti pit bull clause.
Yeah, that does make sense. I know that a lot of apartments down here do that. They specify if you have animals, which ones you cannot have, certain breeds.
Yeah.
And they're based on statistics, which they're flawed statistics because Dalmatians aren't on the list. And there's some other crazy ones that really should be. And meanwhile, I love pit bulls because, you know, in most cases, you can get a pretty good idea on... Well, exactly. But it's the animal's behavior, right? You can get the demeanor of the animal. You have to be careful, right? Because they have the physicality to do incredible damage and the instinct to do so. But, you know, so do a lot of other animals.
Of course.
But that's interesting. So it's tell me about it.
So you deal with that, basically, right? And I don't know. And... so I called the place up and was asking about it, and that's what she was telling me. And I was like, okay, great. So what you're telling me is she's like, yeah, okay, that'd be all right. That's fine. Which is what I figured. And so I call the girl or text the girl back saying, yeah, it's cool, man. Just go ahead. Pick out whatever animal you want. At this point.
So she didn't have like one
at this point she's already? Like I don't have the animal, but she's like I have all the documentation. I just wanted to run it by you first. I wanted by me, saying me, before I got one. I'm like, well, I appreciate that for sure. And I guess it's cool, just let me know what's up. And so within X amount of days I started getting phone calls. So I think it was Friday. Like, who the hell are these numbers? And sure enough, it was some animal place. So yeah, this lady's, checking in on animals and stuff, and and lo and behold, she's getting a dog that's what is one of the dogs that I have upstairs. It's a Morkie. It's
cool.
Maltese and a Yorkshire Terrier mix. So
maybe they'll get along.
It's called a Morkie. Yeah. So then she happened to be getting one too, and then I'm walking to the pet store. This like Pet Supplies, Petco or whatever the hell it was. I don't even know. So I'm walking in the store, and we're both look over, or actually she noticed me. I don't know how. We're all masked up. I'm all masked up. So he's Brent. I'm like, yeah, that's me. And sure enough. She's going in. Oh, I'm getting some stuff from a new dog. I'm like, great, me too. And then it hit me that I'm like, oh yeah, you have the same dog now.
That's kind of cool, man. That's a nice little synchro, right? Like, what are the
crazy synchro? Yeah. And then we synchro up at the place, which was even crazier. I was like. Yeah, so that was kind of crazy.
Well, hopefully that's the universe telling you that, hey, man, just don't worry. You made the right decision here.
Oh, I'm cool with her. That girl's been nothing but awesome.
Okay,
she's lived in our building for about almost 2 years now.
Oh, well, then you're probably going to be fine.
Yeah.
You're going to be. It's not like somebody.
I have no problem letting her have a dog, dude. Yeah, it's the other 50 fucking people.
Well, and good thing it was a dog. You said yes to any animal. It could have started off as an alligator, an elephant, or a boa, like a large boa. You could have been like
a large boa. Yeah. Doc says I need a snake. Okay, great.
Yeah, I wonder how many people are getting emotional support animals now.
Yeah.
Ooh, I never thought about that.
That's what I mean. I haven't had to deal with it yet. This was the first go around. I've been doing it for 6 years, and this is the first time it's happened. So, and I've dealt with a decent amount of turnover. I mean, I have like almost 60 units all year long.
Mm-hmm.
kind of like not every single one's turning over, but I mean, there's a decent amount of turnover. But I haven't noticed anything that I have people asking about, like when they're looking to move, not asking about that, but asking about dogs and stuff. And yeah, that's probably what it is a lot more so than them actually saying that. Like, oh, it's emotionally support animal. But because that's usually that would be their next question or the next comment, question, whatever. Do you accept dogs because of that? But I don't know. There's laws with that kind of stuff. Like, can't really ask somebody why, or why do you have a emotional support? Oh, I tried to kill myself last year. Yeah, there's all these laws and shit that like you can't ask people these things. It's crazy. There's a fine line. Yeah, had to happen once. Like, I don't know. I hadn't had it happen to me. Dave was just asking somebody about. I don't know. One of those particular things, and somebody, I tried to kill myself. You can't ask me that kind of stuff, but I'll tell you. I'm like, okay, great. I'm listening to the guy say, I'm like, wow, okay, great. I know not to try to pry into somebody's shit too much, But there's only so much you can learn about somebody in 10 minutes. When they're interviewing for an apartment or whatnot. So that's my life.
What does it mean to be a man in today's world?
Damn, dude. That's a good question. I come from a blue collar background, old school. Just roll your sleeves up, stay busy, get dirty, man. Like, and I wish it was that way still, but it's not. I can tell you, it's not. Yeah, that's just not. It's not like that anymore. And you say, what does it mean to be in a world this way? Like,
what does it mean to be a man in today's world? As I interpret it, it's kind of like, what does it mean? What does it mean for me to be a man today? Like, what does that actually mean? Yeah. For me, it's standing up for those who can't stand up for themselves, even if I'm scared.
Yeah. Yeah, I could. Man, that's. Oh, God. Yeah, I do like that kind of message, and I mean, yeah, I'm a father for one of 3 now, but 2 visibly that know what I do daily, and just I don't know. Yeah, I just try to present myself and a law-abiding citizen. At the same time, I try to present myself with like my chest stuck out with a little bit of like manliness and pride and making a decision once in a while, that and overcoming. Yeah, maybe like you're talking about, well, you overcome a fear. Yeah, maybe the fear was just turning around and, you know what? I really want that Big Mac because that kid fucked up the order. They have the balls to turn around and go back and get it done. Or if you can get the balls to do that, then you're gonna get raked over on a insurance quote or a shingle quote on your house. You're gonna get bent over backwards. Those kind of things in life.
No, I like that.
Those are street start things and street, not super street, but it's just like those type of things are
it's something
You have to be
everybody has access
strong
to.
If your gut's telling you something, then 99% of the time, even if most likely you're getting screwed over.
No, I like this because even if you're a person who's terrified of conflict and confrontation, even when somebody's trying to take advantage of you, okay, so how do I learn to be the person that's not? Start with returning an order. Start with the little things because you can.
Those little things say, go ahead.
They're around.
And go get that burger. You paid for it.
It presents itself, so it's an opportunity to practice.
And they'll give guess what? They're going to give you back that burger. They'll give you to the right way. Because you paid for it. And that's called good business. And if they don't, then you get to write a bad review, and that makes you feel good about yourself also. I would imagine. I don't know. I don't ever write reviews, but
if you did,
I mean, if you're a review writer, then have fun at it.
Have you ever threatened to write a review?
Never.
Good for you, sir.
Life. Never. I will write a bad review. Fuck that, dude. I'll do a fucking 3-minute burnout in your drive-through window.
Instant review.
just smoking up.
You don't need the internet for that one.
Just smoking up your drive-through.
Well, James, guess what?
Yeah, man, we did it.
That was the end of the 13 questions.
I don't know. It was a lot of fun, dude.
Dude, it's still more fun. We got some bonus questions. We got like 7 more of these bad boys to roll onto you.
Awesome. Oh shit.
Yep. Yeah. You bonus questions.
Yay.
Bonus question number 1.
Okay.
What
Boner.
is your boner question?
Yeah.
What is your single greatest driving force in life, and how do you further it?
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it was kind of like what we were talking about earlier, like just live every day to its fullest, right? So with that force, just I try and apply it in all those little things all day long, and that's what's cool with having kids. I can apply it to those type of things. With my job, I apply it to sheet of drywall or whatever, or an electrical problem.
So, like,
I don't know, man.
mindfulness,
Driving, listening to something, just giving it my utter attention. When a peer is speaking, my father-in-law, he's teaching me something. He's explaining something. A person on the phone is telling me something that I've asked their opinion on. Try not to be a dick about stuff like that. Yeah, those things, man. Take advantage of those things. Mm-hmm.
Opportunities. Yeah. Look at them as positives and use them for something. That's cool. What rule do you have for yourself that you never break, and why do you think that is important?
Man, a rule that I never break for myself. I'm trying to think of something like that. Like, one thing that I think it just helps, even in conversation in general, just smile at people, even if I'm having a bad day. It always can help the other person, and it just comes out that way. It's just like it's so used to doing it. Like, just smile as I'm, even if I got kicked in the balls, I'd be turning around laughing, So that's probably something I would say. It's just always smile, always smiling, man. It's one rule I always have. Just always smile.
That's actually a good one. You know,
Positivity, yeah.
yeah, we talked about it on a previous show that even just smiling will make you happier. So you can control and elevate yourself through a physical action. And if you're constantly doing that, then, you know,
smiling, smile at others.
And it's contagious, right? So how weird is that?
If you're in the car, whatever, you're at the store, you're just checking out, or whatever, you're getting that pack of smoke. Smile at the lady.
Somebody
Later,
smiles at you. You always, most of the time you smile back.
Now we got masks, so that sucks.
Oh yeah,
that's the bummer part. So
you just get creepy, squinty eyes while you're smiling.
Yeah, man, love you long time.
So weird now.
Blows.
Anyway,
yeah, it is so weird.
What terrifies me, not me personally, but it's the people out there with like hearing impairments that relied on reading lips. Because now you have people that are like just cut off in a way that
a whole society gone.
Yeah, but nobody's even thinking. Like, imagine if you're that person, and then all of a sudden, like,
there you go. Think about others right there. Think about that tonight. Oh man, I didn't think. Yeah, that makes me a shitty person. Well, all the deaf people and all the blind, and all that. All the impaired.
Yep. That's I think about that one often. I mean, I have a hard enough time understanding people through a muffled mask. You know, I don't have, and it's even that it could just be elderly or people with normal hearing problems are, affected. So,
yeah.
What quality do you most admire in a woman?
What do I like the most? Yeah, I probably I don't know. I like maybe a girl that takes good, she takes care of her hair, These girls that take care of their hair, they get, it's real nice. Even if it's blonde hair, brown hair, brunette, like, man, if they take care of that hair, they're 99% of the time, like the rest of them is in tip top shape also. So I like that. Take care of the hair, nice haircut. Hey, man, they're all primed and trimmed and proper.
Well, I mean, it is self-reflective, right? If you take care of the outside of your body, you care about who you are.
Yeah. I mean, nice haircut always makes people feel really good. You get a bad haircut, man. Pissed off. Have you ever had a bad haircut? You're like an asshole.
I don't. I'm not that guy. I go in there and tell them.
Me neither. I cut my own hair, so I'm always an asshole.
I haven't cut my hair in like 2 years, so
yeah,
I'm due for a trim.
2 years. I haven't cut my hair since March, so you got me beat.
Okay. Yeah, everybody's like, I can't go get my hair cut. I'm like, I don't remember when I cut my hair.
I'm so lazy with it. Yeah, I just cut mine. Yeah, I know, like a week ago, I think. Yeah. I just shaved yesterday. I know, I'm so lazy and slow with things lately. Yeah. But yeah, I like that. I mean, I like a big ass and this and that. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I don't know. I like the hair. Nice nails, nice fingers. Yeah. Something a little more different. Something a little different.
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
I'd say nature, right? Yeah. I mean, like, because nature, I could blanket in all of those things, right? because I could be outside or whatnot or experiencing something in every one of those things outside. Yeah. And yeah, I think that would easily blanket statement as nature in general. Yeah. I think so.
I like it.
And I'm not really a big nature guy nowadays, right? Yeah, like it's weird. I'm older. I can't do half the shit I used to do when I was a kid.
Yeah, but do you ever find time to
It's just-
interface? Do you ever like go for a stroll in the park or during the day, kind of
I
walk
wish.
outside?
I wish. I need to. So you see, those are the things that you learn by doing stuff like this, right, Adam?
Yeah, that you need to take take a little time to commune
Take
with
a
the
little
world.
time and do that kind of stuff.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah.
You can look at a very dynamic ecosystem with interacting
Yeah.
species and birds and communications and
Yeah.
or you can go into a building and wait for screen images and audio
Yeah.
to appear that's been determined for you.
Or I can put on a VR helmet and that I've paid for an experience, so to speak, a badass video game or whatnot.
True.
So
You won't be
which
getting
I find that
you
cool.
you
too.
won't be getting the healing terpenes in the environment. You won't be getting the beneficial
endorphins are
sunlight,
different.
the light.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Totally.
All the frequencies are
Yeah. All the
different.
frequencies
Yeah, and
are
how
different.
big is that open world experience in there?
True. It's not as big as all along the flat Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that big.
No, it's like Mario World, man. It's not flat. It's more like toilet paper tubed.
Yeah.
What would you tell your teenage self?
Oh man. Hmm. Stay true to yourself, man. Like just like Bill and Ted, like just be excellent to yourself. You know? It doesn't matter what you do with your life. Always stay true to yourself and be excellent to yourself.
I love that
It
advice.
sucks because it's like money. Like I said, money comes and goes. I mean, really, if you're into chicks or dudes or whatever, they come and go. Just always. I always live life to the next. Live it by its fullest. Grab life by the balls.
And if you don't, because like there's always gonna be that little voice inside your head that is telling you that, or talking to you about like
not
missed
like,
opportunity this or missed opportunity that.
What
And
if?
you don't?
It's always the
Sometimes-
what if.
You always say that. We talked about that earlier. Oh, what if I didn't made a left, or what if you made a left instead of a right? Or like oh, if I would have moved in that one year and I did that, I ended up staying there and I ended up meeting the girl.
Or what if, like you,
now?
like what if I didn't choose to get into podcasting? What if I didn't,
Right?
choose to get into team sports?
What would you be doing?
Like these are
That's yeah. I know. So when I don't know, I stopped listening to a certain show or something, and I don't know how all of a sudden I got into podcasting then. Yeah. I'm like, this is cool. And then it just got obviously snowballed after that.
Well, you and I love the dynamic that you and Steve have. It's fun. It's really fun. You guys are made for each other. And I'm going to admit, when you guys first started the idea and we're bantering it around, and it was going to be
tough.
James Cruz and Grimsteak. We're going to be cruising with Steak. I was like,
what?
Yeah, but it worked really. The chemistry bleeds through and drives that show. Like you're the two captains up there, just like bleeding awesome chemistry on everyone.
Yeah, I think that once people hear it, then that sky's the limit after that. The name itself is kind of hokey. But then you're like, Oh, James Cruz and Grimsteak. Yeah, Cruising with Steak. So it is right there in the title. Yeah, it is. It's right there in the title.
Yep.
Like if people don't believe it until it comes out of their mouths. Yeah.
It's beautiful. It describes
And then they
everything
have
so
to
well.
experience it.
Yeah, what are you
And
doing?
now my
You're
latest thing
cruising.
is like, I'm like, fuck you, Joe Rogan. I'm like, it's the Cruising with Steak experience because it's crazy now, dude. Yeah, like
Yeah, it's more than a show.
it's
an
more than a
experience.
show. It's I hate saying podcast. It's not really a podcast. I never really liked the term podcast anyway. I guess because of the pod player or podcast player or whatever they called it. But I always hear shows and episodes and episode numbers.
Well, you guys live stream, right? So you're a live
so now
streamer.
we do that, and that's different.
You're a broadcaster, man.
Isn't it-
Increase
We're
your
broadcasters,
your remizade, commas after every single one of these.
And people can interact with the show while it's going on through the
Right,
Discord.
so it's
Oh,
a
look at that.
multi-
Producer at the same time,
right.
live producer of the
live
Cruising with Steak show.
production, a live produced weekly live produced entertainment extravaganza. And yeah, we've been doing it for 3 years. It's just so, or at least that part for almost 2 years, I think. Something like that. I don't even know. Wait,
It's been longer than that. I know it's been longer than that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's been a long time. What do you choose to ignore?
Oh yeah, choose to ignore. I'd say like I don't really deal with it anymore though, but it would be like work drama, like people's problems at work. Like you would choose to ignore that shit, right? It's just like fuck, it's somebody else's.
Yeah,
Like if it was money, yeah, but obviously it's like, yeah,
So keeping it separate then?
yeah,
Like
keep it
separating?
separate, dude. There's some truth to that, no doubt. I would say that, yeah. For me, for sure. And I don't really work with that. So I don't get to like spew my problems to people.
No.
If I do, it's a tenant. It's
But,
like great. Yeah.
I know a little bit about your history and working in a really
Yeah.
toxic,
Yeah,
hectic work environment
Yeah.
where there's more pressure put on you than really should. And
Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah.
so, I can imagine, which would be weird, right? Because now you're working with family, which is kind of the old cliche of,
Oh yeah, that's about 100 times worse. No, it's not my particular layout right now. It's not. I mean, it's just weird. Like we tend to get, me and my father-in-law get along fine. It's great. We work around enough with enough work together enough, where it's not gonna bother us either way. We're still able to be ourselves. We bitch and moan and swear, and it's all good, which is great. And before my it was a family ran business, but I wasn't involved in it. In that family ran business, these fucking people, man, they just hated life though. You could tell, and that shit morphed out on everybody else. So you are what you eat, right? I guess, or where you? Yeah.
choose which wolf inside of you feed. There's a
Yeah,
good
there
wolf
you
and
go.
a bad wolf. Don't feed the
Yeah.
bad wolf. And if you're in that
12 years of that, yeah.
oh, bro, that's such a toxic ecosystem.
Yeah,
But you know what? It built armor. It built things you don't want. and
sure.
it's
Many layers of the onion.
exactly. Like you get this repelling wave. Like when if you see something like that, you can spot it a mile away. You're like, hell no.
Yeah,
I know that zone.
Yeah, these are layers to oneself.
You have to look at it that way, right? Like
Yeah.
nothing gets improved unless you fail. So part of being
course.
unique and in succeeding is you got to experience a lot of danger.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Sucks.
yeah.
You got to make bad choices.
Now, listen, if you don't trip in a pothole, you might fall in a sinkhole.
That's right. You might fall in a sinkhole. I like that advice.
Well, James, the final question.
Okay.
What do you hope people will say at your funeral?
Holy shit. Oh, man. Oh, I know. It'll just be, man, he was a great dude. Like, legit. Like, that'll be on my fucking tombstone. No doubt about it. James Cruz, a great dude. I know it. Yeah. Cause
So you don't even
I was
hope
always
it.
the guy that you could call him at 3 a.m, man, if you had a flat tire. He'd be there. He'd help you out, dude. He's a great dude. Yeah. I am that guy. Yeah. He's a great dude. And whether my kid calls me a dude or not, yeah, he can call me a father.
Listen, give him till he's like 25 or something, and then listen to him. Until then, man, you know how you were when you were 14.
Exactly.
Fuck this
He's
guy.
a great dude. Yeah. So I think that would definitely be on what I'd want to be remembered by. Just a great dude. Yeah, I think that's my ultimate goal. I just don't want to. Yeah, for man, I'd hate to come across being an asshole to somebody. It would really put a bummer on my day.
How beautiful
if I was
would
to make
the world,
somebody else have a bad day, I'd feel horrible, dude.
How beautiful would the world be if everybody just couched that mentality as they walked around? How many people would be having bad days when you're actively trying to avoid? I mean, you wouldn't be cutting somebody off in traffic.
Whew.
I
don't go around looking for that shit. Ain't no one got time for that.
You'd be holding doors for people.
Yeah, holding doors for people.
Exactly. No cutting in lines.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Dude, I like your worlds. Your worlds are fun. They're full of dirt bikes and just people
basic,
who
my life is
who are human beings because they want to be, not because there's a law.
Basicness, yeah. I mean, some of it might be crazy for some, but sure, yeah, I know. No, but some people are definitely afraid of speaking out for themselves. That's why I'm here
to speak out for them.
Yeah, and I'm not here for the middleman. If you need some help, reach out. 555. Up with hope. Down with dope. Nah, man. Yeah, it's just have a lot of fun. That's what I mean. Always smile every day, and that's all I got.
Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah,
that was awesome. How was it? How was that, man? How was it answering these questions?
That's fun. I was thinking, I'm like, man, I should have all these crazy answers. I'm like, I'll have crazy answers. Just gonna go with it. Yeah. And it was a lot of fun, man. It was freaking awesome.
Well, I agree. I apologize if I went off the rails too much here, but man, it's been.
I
love you, man. I love you. It's we've spent so much time together. It's been a minute since you had your new baby, so yeah, it's really nice to be able to connect.
I know
on a
I didn't
personal level.
go down the whole kid aspect of thing. It's just people. I know people don't hear about all that shit.
Well, not even that. I mean, not to get old hatty, but this isn't your first rodeo. You got
dude, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
But no, man, 13 questions was always a cool concept. I love the idea of it. Yeah. And then to bring it back and you two guys are doing it, it's freaking great.
It's been a lot of fun so far.
That's what absolutely. I think is cool about it. And then I'm like, oh my God, that's right. Adam's doing it. I'm like, fuck yeah, this will be sweet.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I see Adam a million times in the last couple of years. Yeah. It's like, yeah. So this is always a treat. Anytime I hang out with you.
Yeah, dude. We've run into each other everywhere. It's weird. All across the country.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's great.
definitely.
Well, James, dude, man, thank you so much for coming on 13 Questions.
Definitely, dude. I know. And like I said earlier when we were doing the show, if you want to come back and hang out with us, you're more than welcome, man.
Absolutely. I need
Anytime.
to. I don't
Thursdays or Tuesdays is the show day. Yeah.
I don't know how you were doing it, man, because after D&D, I am so wrecked.
Oh,
you know, that come Tuesday.
I think
Tuesday's like
I don't know. If we're doing a Patreon, it's supposed to be a night. And like I said, I don't think I can handle that right now. I'm so tired right now, dude. And I wouldn't be worth. I'd just be playing sound clips. Ding dong, ding 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 ding. Yeah, which is always fun to do. But I don't know if we'll be doing that Patreon tonight or not. I haven't got a message or anything. So
sweet. Not for you. I hope you get sleep. Or here's what you do, man. Just lay down, crank up your mic, snore away, and let them pipe that into the podcast. Oh,
yeah, we've done that. I know you've done it. Yeah. Many a time. Okay, guys. Yeah, I'll let you go. Bill, thanks, man, for reaching out. I'm glad you reached out to me to do this. It was awesome.
Absolutely, dude. I'll see you on Tuesday.
All right, man. Thanks. Later.
Later, bro.
Peace.
Bye.
I wanna hold night. I wanna hold night. Yo, what? I wanna hold night. I wanna hold night. Yo, what? I wanna hold night. I wanna hold night. Yo, what? I wanna hold night. I wanna hold night. Yo, what? I wanna hold night. I wanna hold night. Yo, what? I wanna hold night. I wanna hold night. Yo, what?
Why is one man rich and another man poor? Why we ain't satisfied? Why we gotta have more? Why your suicide rates on the rest so high? Why I tell you the truth but you say don't lie? Why is being a good father at an all-time low? Why is it acceptable? Yo, why? I don't know. Why she blame him and he blame her? It's useless. Ask yourself this question. Why you making excuses? Why do parents gotta bury their kids? Why we text and drive, not caring how scary it is? Why it's so hard to forgive and leave the past behind? And if you did, then that's divine. Why don't you help your brother when you see him fall? Why do we act like God don't see it all? Why do we call them black, them white, them Asians and use labels? Now that's racism.
I don't wanna hold night.
Why?
I don't wanna hold night. Yo, why? I don't wanna hold night.
Why?
I don't wanna hold night. Yo, why? I don't wanna hold night.
Why?
I don't wanna hold night. Yo, why? I don't wanna hold night.
Why?
I don't wanna hold night. Yo,
why is there innocent people locked up for life? While some people can't say nothing nice. Why do we always gotta question what all of it means? And why won't you follow your dreams? Tell me why. The night when you took my dad, why'd you let me see my grandpa cry? And tell me why. And why do you choose to hide, even though you was born to fly? And tell me why. And why don't we turn from all the hate? And why don't we learn from all mistakes? Why do I keep on wrecking these fat beats? And teachers don't make more than professional athletes? And why? And why? And why? And why? And why? And why?
I don't wanna hold night. I don't wanna hold night. Yo, why? I don't wanna hold night. I don't wanna hold night. Yo, why? I don't wanna hold night. I don't wanna hold night. Yo, why? I don't wanna hold night. I don't wanna hold night. Yo, why?
This should be considered entertainment and not therapy. We hope you benefit from our resources available at 13questionspodcast.com. Thank you for listening.